Governor, your administration has been moving from topics and issues which have plagued our community for decades. You've gone from GRS, you continue on WAPA, now you're in this St. John school. Why is this important, and why did you prioritize your team to tackle this issue and tackle it now?
Well, thank you for the question and for the interview, Emmett. The one thing I believe in the Virgin Islands is we talk a lot. And through my experience in government, in private sector in Virgin Islands, every opportunity is just a window that is cracked ajar. And you have to jump through that window and the timeliness of it. Now, we have been working on this diligently for the last 4 years, but I can remember as far back as the Turnbull administration, governors working on this. The point of it is that we bring things to a close. We bring solutions to the forefront of the problem, address them head on, no matter how controversial, and we bring them to a close. And this is one, I think after 50 years, we have an opportunity to close. And for the benefit of the people of St. John.
Many residents are, as you know, it's a ticklish subject.
Right.
With the St. John, with the national park.
But no one's laughing, no.
True. So for those who oppose, they're bringing suggestions, but they are saying, well, consider this option. But as you said, you've been tackling this for 4 years, plus the many other years that other administrations have been tackling themselves. So on your level as a governor, what does it take to bring this to the table? I mean, considering you're dealing with Department of Interior, you're dealing with the National Park. For those who think that it's easy as just saying, consider Plan B, what is the real details that goes into making this come to life?
Well, first of all, you have to get to a position where they are interested in a piece of land that we have. And the good thing about it is that they were interested in a piece of land that is a bird sanctuary. So there would be no loss of use for the people of the Virgin Islands in swapping out this land. Then the process has to go through a myriad of protocols through the Department of Interior, through that. Strangely enough, it took only 4 years. I mean, when we started talking to people, they were like, this is not going to be done until the next administration. I said, no, it's going to happen. And when the Park Service finally came back to us after 3.5 years of working on this and said, we're almost there, we were excited, but I didn't get too excited. But in May, we had a meeting and they said, we're going to get this done in June this year. It's all up to the people of the Virgin Islands now to seal the deal. And the thing here is we've discussed this option for 50 years. People were asking me, you want to have another town hall meeting on it? You want to discuss it again? There was nothing more to discuss where they're not taking the land away. The Park Service is not coming with a helicopter and flying away to the land. We're exchanging a piece of land that's going to remain in the Virgin Islands, that's going to be there for the people of the Virgin Islands to enjoy. That's a bird sanctuary with 11 acres of usable land for St. John. Now I hear people say at the hearing that we recently had, well, they could use this option or that option or give land. Great, we need that land too. St. John is in a very precarious situation when it comes to government land. The legislature leases land, leases the building they're in St. John. We have all kinds of services that are being needed in St. John. Most importantly, affordable housing. From the beginning of this administration, I've heard lots of proposals about land in St. John for sale. But to date, no one has come forward with a deed in hand saying, this is my land, this is how much is for it, and I want to sell it to the government. So all of this talk now are just probabilities and suggestions. We want the land. So if people have land they want to donate, we want to get the land. How about land for the people of Bellevue? And for people in St. John who are about to be displaced from their homes, because all of those public housing that we have in St. John, after 20 years, goes back to market rent. Those people need homes too. We're in the process now of buying back that property from the private developer in order to maintain that public housing in St. John. So if you have more, there's St. Johnians that want to build a home and own a home on the island. The government is interested in buying it. But as I said, to date, no one has come forward with a deed in hand saying, I own this land, this is how much is for it, and I want to sell it to the government of the Virgin Islands.
A topic is raised in the Virgin Islands, so anything. And example, police, they say, why would they focus on this and not focus on that?
Right.
So now on this topic here, it was mentioned in the hearing, as you brought up the hearing, and it said, okay, it seemed as the senator brought up an idea as if this is being prioritized or positioned over the others. So in your office, as you jump on this right now, how do you prioritize? Or, this, like you said, it's been on the table. If you say, why not now? But how does the order of prioritization work?
So just on the recovery alone, we have 100 priority projects. There's over 1,600 project worksheets for FEMA. So I laugh sometimes with my director of Office of Disaster Recovery, Ms. Octolin, Williams Octolin, that we have so many projects going now. This is just a major one. So WAPA, getting our schools back up, finishing our hospitals, the St. John land swap. Different things take the pinnacle of my attention at different times, depending on what the timing is. Right now, the two things on my radar specifically are the St. John land swap and getting WAPA to a place where we can seal the VTOL contract. Those things are bubbling up now, and decisive action has to be taken or we lose those opportunities for another 50 years.
Okay, Governor, as we wrap up, for the few or those that are opposing or questioning, what's the message you send to them?
I get it. It's an emotional issue. I understand the National Park Service has not been the best tenant on the island of St. John, and I call them a tenant because they are a tenant on the island that belongs to the people of the Virgin Islands. I get the raw emotion and the anger and the angst that is built over the years. But guess what? Grandma say, don't cut off your nose to spite your face. This is a good thing for the people of the Virgin Islands, specifically for the children of St. John, to finally be able to get a school in St. John. This is never going to happen again, because the opportunity here, I hear about people talk about schools in Coral Bay. Keep your eye on the prize. The goal here is to provide a central location that people coming from Coral Bay, Cruz Bay, Chocolate Hole, Red Hook, or even Tutu or Limbog Bay could go to a school in St. John and have an experience that is different than any other Virgin Islands high school. That is the goal here. Now, foregoing that, it would just be to rebuild Sprout School and have K through 8 like we always had, and everybody else just keep braving those seas. But we have an opportunity to make a difference, to stop the talk and make a decision that will finalize a land swap where we lose nothing and we gain so much for the people and the children of St. John.
Governor, good luck and thank you.
Thank you much. Appreciate it.
I am Eustace Grant Jr., also known as the Don Deal. I was diagnosed with stage 2 prostate cancer on August 31st, 2017. That moment changed my life. The hardest part of the experience was the thought of not being here to see my children and grandchild grow. Luckily, my family and support team were real. They had food sales to show their support. My prayer warriors and doctors were phenomenal. Do I encourage men to get screened for prostate cancer? The answer is an absolute yes. If you are an African American male with a family history of prostate cancer, you should begin screening at age 40. If you are unsure about screening, talk to your doctor to decide if screening is right for you. Testing is easy. Early detection saves lives. I am a living testament, and that's a done deal. African American men are at an increased risk of getting and dying from prostate cancer more than any other race. Talk to your doctor to find out if prostate cancer screening is right for you. This message was brought to you by the Department of Health, Division of Chronic Disease and Prevention.